Hello and welcome to what I am going to call our mid-month coffee chat. So if you do not have a drink, it doesn't have to be coffee depending on what time you're watching this, but grab a coffee, iced coffee, tea, water, whatever it is that you want to drink, and let's chat a little bit. So we are going to utilize this time mid-month to come in, talk about goals, talk about life, and just kind of figure out where we are so that if you are someone like me who sets monthly goals, monthly vision boards, you aren't getting to the end of the month and being like, oh my gosh, I completely forgot about this goal or that goal, or I have made no progress, or whatever it might look like. And then stay tuned to the end of the video because I'm gonna just share a little bit about who I am and why you should even care about what it is that I have to say, or what validity maybe I bring to the table when it comes to talking about goal setting and goal achievement and all of that. I am somebody who I like to watch other creators here on YouTube, but I like to know a little bit about who they are. And for those of you who have chosen to hit that subscribe button and who continue to come back and watch my videos week after week and support me, I really love you and appreciate you, by the way. I just feel like maybe that would be nice to know, so I wanted to share that too. So let's get into it, grab your drink, and here we go. If you're someone like me that your coffee always gets cold, you need one of these little coffee warmers. I just got this from Amazon, exact one that I have linked in the description box below, but it is so nice. It's automatic. The moment you sit something on it, a little blue light comes on, so it feels the weight and it turns the heat on so that as soon as I lift it up, it goes off. So I leave it plugged in all the time, and then when I'm not using it, I actually just put it down here on the floor underneath this table. But when I do need it, I just lift it up, put it right there, set my coffee on it, and it works super well. And it doesn't like make your coffee like so hot that you can't touch it, but it does the job, because the number of times that I've had to reheat a coffee, it's annoying. So with that being said, let's dive into talking about some goals for the month of August, because we're doing our mid-month check-in here. So for me, I have set some goals, and as I pulled this off of my whiteboard that I have above my desk, I was like, oh, I already see some things that I have not done as well with when it comes to achieving my goals. So we're gonna talk through some of those things. And the reason that I wanna come on here and do this is just because it's kind of a gut check. It's kind of a, hey, does this still matter? Even though I only set these goals 15 days ago, 15 days have passed and lots of things have happened in the course of those 15 days. That's 2 weeks time. And 2 weeks, while it doesn't seem like a lot can happen in 2 weeks time that can change our goals, how we're feeling, all of that. So having a mid-month check-in, I feel like is a really great time just to come together, sit down, talk through those goals and figure out, are we on track to actually achieve these goals or not? And then what can we do about that if we aren't? How can we get started implementing things, putting those things in place so that we can actually achieve these, so that when the end of the month comes, we can feel really proud that we made some stellar progress in the course of the month. So I'm just gonna quickly kind of go through the few goals that I have, and I encourage you to do the same. So if you have your goals written down, or if you do a monthly vision board or whatever that looks like, get yours out and let's do this together. So for me, my first goal is about my personal fitness journey. And so the workout program that I'm doing and just kind of getting back to basics was kind of the goal that I set for myself. I started week 2 of this program today. I am very much focused on taking this one day at a time and just doing the things. Next one is daily outdoor walks. I have actually not been doing that. Now, I will say, in my defense, the whole last week it has pretty much rained constantly. I haven't even had to water my garden because it has been so wet here. So that's part of it. But I've also just been spending more time sitting outside when I've been reading my fiction, which we'll get to that goal in a second. And so I've been doing less walks, but I really do need to get back to that because the dogs literally love it so much. So goal number 3 is following my nutrition program. I did some meal prep yesterday. I did both breakfast and a lunch. I'm getting ready to eat my lunch actually as soon as I get done recording this video. And that feels so nice. I haven't meal prepped in a long time. Not consistently in a long time. I'll do it kind of randomly here and there. And so by getting that done yesterday, it took me maybe 45 minutes to prep both breakfast and lunch, and I was done. And I watched a TV show while I was in there, so it felt really nice just to knock that out. By doing that, I'm definitely following my nutrition program, which feels good. Goal number 4 is reading more fiction. I have been crushing this. I read an over 400-page book in 2 days last week. So I definitely have been getting my fair share of reading. I am reading a series right now and I'm thoroughly enjoying it, and so that's helping. What I found when I picked this off of my whiteboard though is I had been not doing my PD. So starting last week when I started this new workout program, I wasn't doing I call it my read and ride. So I have a stationary bike. And so what I like to do is I like to come in there, I have my pre-workout, I sit down and I read my personal development while I'm riding the bike. And I do that for 5 to 10 minutes. It gets my personal development in, it gets me warmed up, and it gives me time to drink my pre-workout before I start my actual workout. And I wasn't doing that last week because I'm doing a bar style program and you don't wear shoes. And so I just thought, well, I don't want to put shoes on to ride the bike just to turn around and take them off. That was silly. So I fixed that this morning and I've been doing way better, and I plan on doing better moving forward because I really do like that time. Number 5 is a gallon of water a day. I have been definitely crushing that. I have this nice big water bottle that helps me do that. As long as I drink 4 of those a day, I've got my gallon in, and I have been crushing that. Number 6 is my Bible time and my daily devotional, which I do literally right here with all of my stuff is set up and ready to go right here. And I've been doing okay with that. I've gotten it in some days, not other days, but have still been doing it, and I have it noted on here that even if it has to be condensed, to try and get it in there. So I do want to be better about making sure I'm sitting down and taking time to do that every single day because it is important to me and it is a priority. Number 7 is using my standing desk or my treadmill desk. If you saw my recap of last month, that was a goal that was on my vision board for the month of July, and I didn't do that as much, and I will also admit I have also not done that as much. I haven't done that at all in the month of August. So we need to do that. Or in this moment, this is when I get to decide, is that actually important to me right now? Now, the fact that I haven't been going on my daily walks and I haven't been using either my standing desk or my treadmill desk, those are 2 forms of movement. As somebody who works from home and doesn't get tons of movement in other than my daily workouts, I'm like, I really need to implement at least one of those, but I really need to take a moment to think about, are both of those still important to me? Between the 2, I would rather go on the walks with the dogs than I would use my standing desk. So for the rest of this week and for the rest of this month, I really want to focus on at least getting my outdoor walks and then maybe also doing my standing desk or treadmill desk. But this is exactly why we're doing this mid-month check-in, is like, is this still important? Does this still matter, right? So this is good. Like, this is really good. So goal number 8 is weekly videos here on YouTube. So getting that done. I still have a goal of eventually trying to get 2 a week, 1 vlog style and 1 like sit down chat style. And so, but I do have the goal of minimum of 1 a week. And so I'm doing pretty good with that. Goal number 9 is working on Teachers Pay Teachers. Guys, this is a goal that I have wanted to work on forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. And I finally feel like I kind of pegged what my issue has been with this goal. So I am somebody who, with Teachers Pay Teachers, if you're not familiar, it is essentially an Etsy, but for teaching resources for teachers. And so teachers can create products to post on there for other teachers to purchase. And that's what I would like to do. I want to create resources. As a former teacher in the early childhood special ed area, I constantly found myself needing resources that were not available to me. We didn't have a curriculum to follow. So I was coming up constantly with the materials that I needed to use with my students because it was very specific to their IEP. But when I would go on to TPT, I would see very limited resources that were low enough for my early childhood students. So I knew that there was a gap. I've known there's a gap, and I want to be the person that fills that gap. I feel so passionate about that. But when it comes to making those resources, using clip art is a big part of that. Visual learning is so big when it comes to early learning. And what I realized this past weekend is part of my issue, I think, is that I never find the clip art that I quite want. Like, I'll think of an idea of a clip art of an idea that I want to use, but then I can't find the exact piece of clip art that I want. So I did a little researching right here on YouTube and found someone who actually teaches how to make clip art specifically for the TPT realm. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is it. I could learn how to make my own clip art. So this is new. Obviously it's not on my vision board because I just decided this like days ago and we're here chatting and I made this, 2 weeks ago. But that is gonna kind of be the new route that I'm headed, of making my own clip art so that I can then create the resources so that I can then provide them for others out there who are in that same world that I once was and likely lacking on the resources that are out there for them to use. So I don't know if that makes sense, but that's a goal that I haven't done much with so far this month, but plan to the rest of this month. Goal number 10 is getting my substitute teaching paperwork and my orientation complete. I have done nothing with this so far this month. It's been on my to-do list for the past 2 weeks and it just hasn't gotten done. It's gotten pushed to the back burner. It is still important. School hasn't quite started yet, so I think that that's part of why I've been dragging my feet, but I need to go ahead and get it done. So I do want to try to get the paperwork part done maybe this week, and then maybe try to get the orientation part done next week, and then that will still honor the fact of trying to achieve that goal by the end of August. And then the final goal is working on my personal business work goals. So couple of these things, I'll be honest, that I've listed on here are not important to me for the rest of this month. I've already kind of had a heart-to-heart with myself and just kind of figured out that some of these things aren't important. But one thing that I will say that has definitely been like, yes, we have done really well with that, is I'm using the website called Trello to kind of help keep track of the clients that I have, so that I'm making sure that I'm checking in with them. And it's just kind of a system that I've started implementing, and I've been using it for the last couple of weeks, and I really, really, really like it. So that one I have actually been doing really well with. And then the others, I'm just focusing on really taking care of those that have invested in or have joined my wellness community. And past that, I'm putting those other goals of achievement in my business aside for now. So those are my goals so far for the month of August, where I am, how we're doing, all of that. Let's take a break and get a drink, shall we? Now, as promised at the beginning of this video, I wanted just to share a little bit about who I am. And that way, in the event that you are someone who's like, I don't really know if I connect with her, like, I don't know what TPT is, I don't know what she does. Like, why would I want to listen to her? Why do I care what she has to say? And I get that, like, absolutely. Number one, I am somebody who I like to know like the background information, like what people do, because I'm a YouTube consumer. Like, I like to watch YouTube videos. I like to be inspired by others. And so knowing what they do helps, but I know a lot of it also comes down to just personality. Do you like the vibe of their videos? Do you like the sound of their voice? Like, do you find them interesting? Do you feel like you get along with them in person? I know that's kind of a weird thing, but I often will think about that. Like, if I were to meet this person in person, would we get along? And if we would, I'm like, yeah, I definitely like this person. Like, I want to watch more of their stuff. So definitely kind of keep that in mind. But with that being said, I want to kind of give you a quick backstory. And if you want more of this, I would be happy to share, but I just don't know that it necessarily has to have a place here. In the event that you have been curious how I got here, right here today, recording this video so that I could be talking to you and posting it right here on YouTube for you to watch. I am someone who, from an early age, I have always been, I guess, entrepreneurial. I wouldn't say really intense at first, but I've always been somebody that's like, hey, if it's not out there, and if somebody can't do it, or if there's not a way to go about it, let's figure it out. Let's figure it out. Let's figure out how we can do this. And so there are different scenarios where when I was like, I don't know, a freshman, I put together a whole softball tournament of all kinds of other high school teams around to come together and to play so that we could raise money and do these things. And I was always involved in clubs where we would do things. And anytime there was group projects, I would usually be the person that would be like, okay, this is what we need to do. And that led on into college, and that led on into just all kinds of facets of my life. Then when I got into teaching full time, same thing. I was a part of teams, and I like to be the problem solver. I like to figure those things out. And then I ended up adding on, while I was teaching, I added on a side business that I needed to do, essentially because, one, I wanted to work on my own personal health, but two, because I wanted to pay towards my student loan debt and my teaching income and the bills that I had. It just didn't work. Like, I didn't have enough money to pay for all the things, right? So I started a side business that was an online health and fitness coaching business. And I worked that business for 3.5 years while also teaching full time. And to the point that I eventually built that business up enough that I was able to step away from the classroom. Now, for the last 3 years, that is what I've been doing full time, even though it doesn't take full-time hours, but it's allowed me to work from home. It's allowed me to pursue other things. It's allowed me to continue that entrepreneurial part of who I am and dream bigger and achieve goals and do all of these things. And it's so funny because it all started with my desire to just get healthier. I was really struggling. I had gained quite a bit of weight after grad school and during my first year of teaching. I was eating out a lot of fast food, a lot of stress. First year teachers, if you know any first year teachers, or if you've been a first year teacher, you get it. There's a lot that goes on. You learn more in your first year of teaching, I swear, than you ever learned while you were in college, right? So there was a lot, and I am an emotional eater. That's just who I've been. And so that was something that was really important to me. Like, I wanted to get a hold of my health. I wanted to feel better. I wasn't feeling happy or joyful or excited or motivated to do anything. And I was losing sight of that woman that I once was, who liked to work towards goals, who liked to do these things. And so I wanted to find her back, and I knew starting with my health could be a great way to go about that. So insert starting my health and fitness journey. I actually just celebrated 6 years ago this past Friday on August 11th. 2017 was when I got started on this journey, and I just celebrated 6 years of consistency, of showing up for my health, for my nutrition. Hasn't always been perfect, definitely not. Lots of learning along the way, and then that transitioned into me now helping others do that as well. I have helped countless, hundreds of women over the years from all over the US, some outside of the US, and have met people that I never would have met otherwise. But through that, I started to achieve goals. I met my goal of needing to pay towards my student loan debt. I started meeting other goals. I started paying off other debt. I ended up paying off my car, like so many things, to the point that it let me step away from teaching. And through that, I wanted to take on more things. I wanted to continue with this freedom that I now had, where I didn't have to work 8-hour days Monday through Friday anymore, and this business didn't take me full-time hours. So insert starting a YouTube channel. I am someone who loves to talk productivity and planning and goals and just mindset and all of that. And that's what I have brought here through this YouTube channel. I also have this desire to still use so much of the schooling and the expertise and the education that I gained in the world of teaching, especially with early childhood special ed. And so that's where the TPT part comes in. And so I just find myself very much wanting to achieve these goals, to continue to utilize these skills that I truly believe God has given me to share with the world. And so that's kind of where all this has come from. So in the event that you've ever wondered, that's kind of where I came from, how I ended up here, why I'm here, what I'm doing, and why those goals are always on my monthly and yearly vision boards, is because those things are important to me. I feel like I am just your regular girl who is from small town Missouri, who has just done the things. I went to a small school, I went to college, I was with my husband we've been together for almost 11 years, but only married for almost 2. And you know, we've gone through all of our 20s together, and now into our 30s, or all the labor over those years is now starting to be super fruitful. And we're in the process of about to build a home and just really flourish from all the time and effort and energy that we've put in over the years. And so through that, it's like, no, am I a millionaire, or do I have all the things, or do I achieve every goal I set my mind to? No. Instead, I'm the girl who actually sets goals and fails, sets goals and doesn't achieve them, sets goals and decides, never mind, that's not important. I'm the girl who is just trying day by day. I am just a normal gal who just shows up day after day. And I just feel like we need more people out there like that are just sharing their truths, sharing the honest hard work that goes in and day out to get where they want to go. No get rich quick schemes, no anything but hard work, consistency, showing up, and just being true to who you are and true to what it is that you truly desire out of this life. I don't know. I just think that's a big part of this. So if you've ever wondered, that's kind of who I am in a nutshell, how I got here, and why I'm so passionate and why I share about the things that I share about. So I hope that kind of gives you a little bit more insight of who I am. If you have any questions, of course, let me know. But that is our coffee chat, our mid-month coffee chat that I've decided we're gonna start implementing. And I hope that you enjoyed it, and thanks for being here. I will see you in the next video. See ya.